Hello, this is Michelle, and today we're going to talk about Chapter 15, which is leveled questions. And what I have done is for this assignment, I have, sorry, dropped my paper there. For this assignment, I have selected a fourth grade life science standard. And what that standard says is explain that animals, including humans, cannot make their own food, and that when animals eat plants or other animals, the energy stored in the food source is passed to them. So what I have done first is going into this lesson, I know that science is sometimes a little harder for students. So what I've done is I've created a pre-assessment. And this is strictly meant to gauge my student understanding at the front part of the lesson, because that is going to tell me where I need to start my lesson and what students have understanding and what students don't have understanding in. So this is important for me as a teacher to know where to start. So I have created a whole class pre-assessment, and this one is 7 questions, and 5 are selected response, given A, B, or C as the answer, as the choice for the answer. So 5 of them are selected response, 2 of them are true or false specifically. So this one, an example of a question would be, define the word ecosystem. A bubble. B, all living things in an environment. Or C, a tree. So what would be appropriate for this would be the student would actually circle the correct letter, or the whole response would be okay as well, but they would circle the correct response, in other words. So this would be given to the whole class. But now I know I have some ESOL students, and I know I need to level the questioning for them so that they are presented the questions in a way that they can answer them and respond to them. So what I've done is I have lessened the number of questions. So the whole class had 7 questions total. My modified version for pre-production and early production ESOL students, this would have 5 questions, and the noticeable difference is that these questions are very few words in them. Only what's left, only what is needed is left. So the first one, for example, define ecosystem. A bubble. A is a bubble, B is tree, or C is all living things in an environment. And I have included some graphics to kind of give them a visual. And so I have also included, bolder graphics. I've bolded some of the important words. I've made the font size bigger. I've added pictures to help them with the food web portion, which is a little tough sometimes. I have also included what I really like here on this particular one, because I thought this was an important portion of the actual lesson itself. So this gives a picture of a flower and its root base, and so it asks you where, label these on the flower. What's good about this is that the word bank is actually there. So even if the student knew the word and maybe didn't know how to spell it, they could just write it out there. Because this is given to pre-production and early production ESOL students, pointing to the correct answer would actually be acceptable here, as would a simple yes or no if I was to verbalize the question in a particular way. There's different variations that they could do to show me that they understand this question and they know the correct response. Maybe they're nonverbal, so they need that type of variation. The point being is there's different ways that I can present the material to different students in different ways. So that is where leveled questioning comes in, and why it's actually just referred to sometimes as differentiated questioning, because you have to differentiate between different students and present it in a way that they're going to be able to understand and respond back, hopefully, because that's what we need. We need to gauge that they understand, and to do that, we have to be able to ask them questions and get an appropriate response. So you have to think about what the student is going to be able to do academically and language-wise. So it's an important thing to consider when you're lesson planning. So I hope I gave you a good example of what you could do, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you.